Hey folks, Mr. Dell here. We are looking at a word problem and we're going to define a variable and write an equation in order to represent this relationship, then use that equation to find the actual solution. So this is a CPM problem and it's coming from course 2, and this is actually the closure is what this is. These are the closure questions. So this is 6-144. It says solve this problem by using the 5D process, that guess and check process, or writing and solving the equation. No matter which method you use, be sure to define your variable, write an equation to represent the relationship. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start by defining my variable and using the writing an equation to figure this out. So if we think about what we're given, this is my problem. It says a rectangle has a perimeter of 30 inches. Its length is one less than 3 times its width. What are the length and width of a rectangle? Well, first of all, I like to make sure I can see what I'm dealing with. If I draw this, right, we know that one side is the width, the other side is the length, right? And what's true is it tells me something about the length in terms of the width. So this is where my x is going to be. I'm going to make my width x. So I'll do that here too. So there's width, defining my variable. I'm going to call that x. So the question is, what is the length in terms of x, right? The length in terms of x, it says the length is 1 less than 3 times its width. So if I called the width x, so 3 times, right? So 3 times the x, but 1 less than. Well, so 1 less than means I would have to subtract 1 from this, less than this, right? 1 less than this. So how do I write that? That would be 3x minus 1. 1 less than 3 times the width, right? So 1 less than 3 times the width. So now I write my equation, and the equation is going to come from perimeter, right? Because it says the perimeter is 30 inches. Remember, perimeter is always the width plus the length plus the width plus the length, right? You have to add each of the sides. So my equation, I'm going to add the width, which is x, plus the length, which is 3x minus 1, plus again the width, which is x, plus again the length, 3x minus 1, and all of that needs to equal 30. So there's my equation. So width plus length equals 30. So I just solved this equation to determine what x is. So combine like terms, x plus 3x plus x plus 3x gives me 8x. And then a minus 1 makes it a minus 2. Okay, so now I've simplified the equation. Now let's isolate my variable term. I'm going to get all my constants on one side. So I add 2 in order for that to go away. So it's 8x is equal to 32. And then divide by the coefficient. And therefore x is equal to 4. Not done though, because I got to answer the question. It wants to know what are the length and the width. So if x equals 4, put it back into my variables. That means the width is 4. And that means the length is 3 times 4 minus 1. Right? 3 times 4 is 12. 12 minus 1 is 11. So there's my answer. So the width is 4, and what's my units? Inches, right? I was dealing with 30 inches, so 4 inches. And the length is 11 inches. All right. And that should make sense, right? If I go back to my drawing just to double check I'm doing this right. If that's 4 and that's 11, so 4 plus 11 is 15, and you have that twice, so 15 times 2 is 30. That makes the perimeter 30. Okay? All right, there we go.